first test venue in Sri Lanka, the home ground of Tamil Union Cricket Club. This is the Red Bull Campus Cricket Sri Lanka Qualifiers final. Just about to begin between Business Management School and SGS campus. The weather is a bit dicey at the moment, and we certainly hope that the light and weather conditions would stay good for the tournament to have a great finish as far as the qualifier is concerned. We've got Business Management School, the defending champions of the World Finals, the lineup, the likes of Vanidu Hasaranga, Ranita Lianarachi, who had such a wonderful game in the final, Amil Oponso at national level, Sadira Samaravikrama, all having a fairly good exposure in Sri Lanka's cricket. Janit Lienage, Hashan Dimidu, and Dinuk Vikranayaka together with Manoj Sarachandra, Lahiru Milanta, all have had a fair amount of cricket. Gishan Vimaladarma included with his big hitting for Business Management School. Joining us on commentary is an experienced umpire and commentator. We'll talk to him in a short while as we have the SGS campus team, Lasit Aberatna, Oshada Fernando, the likes of them, Chaturanga Kumara, Nipuna Gamage, Anusha Pereira, to name a few, who have done a fair amount of cricket for the respective teams. Charit Fernando, Malinga De Silva. I wonder whether it's Malinga or Manelka De Silva. But then there is also the likes of Sachitra Pereira, and we would have a good game going on. Shahan Fernando included to make sure that this is a good contest. A very good afternoon to you, Senanandavira.
A very good afternoon, Harita, and good afternoon to all our viewers and listeners. And as Harita said, this is the finals of the Red Bull Campus Cricket Sri Lanka Qualifiers. BMS has won the toss and they elected to field first. Umpires for the finals, well experienced, and ICC representing umpires from Sri Lanka, Ranmo Martinez and Ravindra Vimalasuri. They are ready.
The standby umpire is Hemanta Botejo, who has had national representation in the one-day game. The scorers on the scoreboard would be Chintaka Munusingha and Satasivam Ravindran, and helping us would be Ranga Samantha. The tournament is conducted under the watchful eyes and the guidance of Brendan Kurupu, who played for Sri Lanka as a test wicket-keeper, opening batsman, and a man who has done a lot of work in various aspects of cricket as a schoolboy, as a club cricketer, as an administrator, selector, you name it, as a manager. He's done the full gamut, and now an event manager.
First bowler of the finals, and he's about to begin, and he's getting some exercises before getting warming up. And the bowler is Ranita Lianarachi, getting ready to bowling from the swimming pool end or the commentator's box end. Ranmo Martinez is standing at the bowler's end umpire for the first over. The play begins at 2 o'clock and it will last for 85 minutes, and innings will be completed at 3:25 schedule, and in between there will be a Red Bull energizing over, very special one, and the openers are walking out to the middle, both openers, Nipuna Gamage and Shahan Fernando. Shahan Fernando is hard-hitting bat. Harder.
Yeah, I wonder whether this is Sajit Fernando's son, in which case his father was a top-class cricketer and top coach now. Shahan is hard-hitting bat, unlike Nipuna, who is capable of holding his end up. But Ranita Lianarachi, he was the star in the World Finals at Goal last year when we gave the live coverage through batsman.com. As you all know, batsman.com is the leading schools cricket stats provider in Sri Lanka. And here we are. Ranmo Martinez is the umpire on the screen. As Sena mentioned, he's standing out there with Ravindra Vimalasiri, a police officer. Ranmo, of course, was a banker, wasn't he?
Earlier, he had been at East West for a long time, and being the ICC panel umpire, now he's concentrating on it. First ball. Short pitch ball. They're going to be run out, and both batsmen are at one end. I think the fielders have made a big blunder. It was an easy task, Harda.
I'm wondering why any of the close-in fielders didn't come up to the wicket. Now, the basic fact on that was somebody has to come to the wicket. You don't expect the bowler to come to the wicket. Even the bowler could have come to the wicket on that second attempt. I mean, that's a cardinal mistake on the part of the BMS fielders. And I hope that it will be the story. This is what they are fighting out for, the Sri Lanka Qualifiers Champions Trophy. Wonderful piece of work that. And worth fighting for under the good conditions for cricket. So that's a big let-off for Shehan and Nipuna. This BMS would want to rectify very quickly. Leonarachi hoiked away. Now this is what has to be taken care of. So that's a promising boundary for Fernando.
Total now read as 5. 2 deliveries. That would have been 1 down for 0. But unfortunately, as Haritha said, that was a big mistake by the fielding side. There was no one to backing up closer to the wicket to get an easy run out. That was in the very first ball. Third ball of the over. Vikramanayaka. Ranit Leonarachi. He misses his run up and now is ready. Another short delivery. Back foot driven on the up, and it collected by the wicket bowler and no run.
BMS, that's Business Management School, is led by Dinuk Vikramanayaka with Manoj Saraschandra as vice captain. Lahiru Milanta is keeping wickets for them after Dinuk Vikramanayaka won the toss and elected to bat. Lasith Abhiratna, meanwhile, is captain of SGS campus. Shehan Fernando is vice captain, and Oshada Fernando will keep wickets for them. So Shehan Fernando, important task for him. Big one. Start up big. That should be a boundary. And a big 4 that it is.
As initially we said, the batsman, right-handed Shehan Fernando, is a hard-hitting bat, and he used to get more runs in lesser number of deliveries. Now the total read as 9 without loss. We are in the first over. Ranit. Skakat direct straight to the fielders, and that goes the first wicket. That is Shehan Fernando, caught by point fielder, and Sadira took the catch. Yeah, Sadira Samaravikrama took the catch, and it's a great catch, Haritha.
Yeah, that it was really dipping down. He had to make up his mind very quickly. And Samaravikrama usually keeps wickets too. He was very quickly onto that and fathomed it very well. That was very well anticipated. So Leonarachi combining very well with Samaravikrama to see the back of Shehan Fernando. He could have been a tremendous threat to BMS now that he's behind a wicket of the first over. So there is something for them to cheer about after that mishap.
After big blows of Ranita, he managed to get the very important wicket of Shahan Fernando. Shahan Fernando out for 8. He has faced only 4 deliveries. And the new batsman walking in is Anushka Pereira is joining not out batsman Nipuna Gamage. They are still in the first over. Finals of Red Bull Campus Cricket Sri Lanka qualifier. It's a great day for cricket, as Haritha said. There won't be a threat of rain, even if we can observe some clouds are gathering in from the eastern side. Ranita. Another short delivery, square cut. There's no run, and that's complete the first over of BMS. 9 for 1 wicket. That is Segas.
Plenty of action in that particular over. Sena, the first ball miss as far as the fielding concerned. A couple of boundaries, a brilliant catch, a dot ball. You couldn't have asked for a better start to the Sri Lanka Qualifiers final 2017. Red Bull, one of the major sponsors of major sports, high active sports I should say worldwide, is in Sri Lanka for good, I can tell you that. And everybody is looking forward up to September when the World Finals will be played in Sri Lanka. Teams from right around the world, the campus teams who would qualify would land in Sri Lanka and enjoy the hospitality and the facilities available.
Haritha, about how many teams will be taking part in that World Finals last year?
No idea.
I think it was held at the Gold International Stadium last year.
Yeah, we did the final. It was a very well received one.
Second over, Koshan Danushka is a spinner. First ball, tried to square cut, but didn't connect it. Collected by the wicket keeper. Nipuna Gamage, the left-hander. Ready to face the next delivery. Driven towards deep mid-wicket, and the mid-wicket fielder, wide mid-on fielder came and collected the ball, and batsman crossed over for 1 run.
Nipuna Gamage is a slow starter, and you can be assured that he will probably hold his end up, pick up the singles, but you need somebody from the other end like Shahan Fernando to go for the big ones. If they are to make pretty headway, I think 20 overs, they must be looking at least 160 runs to be comfortable.
Nipuna Gamage, as you said, is a slow starter, but he is also a hard-hitting batsman during his school days. Oh, another miss. Try to hit it straight over the bowler's head, but did not connect. Now the total read still as 10 for 1, and BMS won the toss and elected to field. Step out and lofted straight over the bowler's end. Another boundary to Anushka Pereira. That is the Shaggies collecting their 14th run. 14th for no wicket, 1 wicket. And you can see several Sri Lankan stars. Those represented Sri Lanka.
This is the good aspect, some young talent. Is that down leg side? No. Missed out on that.
No run collected. 14 for 1. Segas University playing against BMS. Came out and hit it over the cow fielder's head, and there's a valiant effort and collected the ball in near the boundary line by the third man fielder. In the meantime, batsmen have crossed for 2 runs. The total goes up to 16. We are in the second over. Red Bull Campus Cricket Sri Lanka Qualifiers. These winners will meet in the, or they will be in the finals of the Red Bull Campus Cricket World Finals, and it will be held in Sri Lanka, as Haritha said. Last year also it was held in Sri Lanka. Still 16. Now the second over, at the end of the second over, Sega 16 for 1. Third over about to begin, and the same bowler. There won't be a change of bowling. And as T20 playing condition, one bowler is permitted to bowl only 4 overs. Ranitha. There's a close call for run out and appeal for a run out, but turned down by Ranmo Martinez. (17 for 1). This is the third over in progress. Nipuna Gamage not out on 3, and Anushka Pereira not out on 6. Anushka Pereira getting ready to face, and in the meantime there's a slight adjustment of the field by the bowler. That was a missed time. It did not connect at all. 17 for 1.
Leonardo generating a fair amount of pace, and on that occasion lift 2, which was very good. He's a genuine all-rounder, and we'll find Anushka Pereira under pressure straight away, and it'll be difficult for everybody to get around. We will just try to talk about the 2 semi-finals at Thurston College. The first semi-final, BMS had a good story to tell. Next delivery again, fair amount of guile there from Leonardo. Changed his pace a little bit, varied, and Pereira playing and missing. So many dot balls, and the pressure comes up straight away. Joining us is Brendan Kurupu, as I said earlier. He had been a test cricketer who opened batting for Sri Lanka, kept wickets. He has a world record for being involved in a test match over all 5 days against New Zealand. Leonardo runs in, bowls, and Pereira got hold of this one, back on the square leg. A good running between wickets to complete 2, and an equally good bit of fielding at backward square leg to prevent the boundary. And that's a couple of runs to Pereira. Total moving up to 17, or 19 rather. And Pereira is now a runner ball 8. Gamage on 3. The batsman dismissed was Sean Fernando for 8. Leonardo making that initial breakthrough. Brendan Kurupu is also in charge of the technical aspect of running this tournament. He was also there last year round, so a lot of experience. As Leonardo hoiked away, this time slower delivery. Pereira saw it very well. That's wide of mid-wicket for 4. That's the sort of shot you need. Brendan, welcome on commentary. I think you're on this time too.
Good afternoon, Haritha. I've been there right from the beginning of Red Bull Campus Cricket Tournament from 2012 onwards, and this is the 6th year we are conducting this tournament worldwide, and in Sri Lanka it's the 5th year that we play the national tournament. And this year we have got 22 teams participating in Red Bull Campus Cricket Tournament, and level of participation has increased throughout.
Again, another massive shot. Pereira has really got stuck in this time. Brilliant hit. Massive 6. That's the first one that cleared the boundary. And all of a sudden, Leonardo has absolutely got the long end of the stick. Total jumping up to 29 at the end of 3 overs. Anushka Pereira is on 18 of just 10 balls. Gamage is on 3. And what a big start. Just tell me, Brendan, how did this story start here with you and the Red Bull?
Actually, it was in 2012, Red Bull wanted to experiment with cricket because Red Bull is not a product that normally deals with a sport like cricket. It's all about exciting sports like motorsports or skydiving, something like that. But now they didn't want, after the 2011 World Cup, they want to try it with cricket, whether how it goes. And then they want to have an Asia Cup with India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. And the matches were scheduled in India in 2012.
So this is Nipuna Gamage hitting it to backward point, no chance of a run. Roshan Danushka is bowling his second over.
Yeah, at the last minute, after this.
Stealing a run, Gamage is right in giving Anushka Pereira the strike. He is on to 4, total is 30.
At the last minute, I think in that tournament, there was an issue with the Pakistan players obtaining visa, and then the tournament was shifted to Sri Lanka, and it was played during the rainy season in April. And I was invited to conduct this tournament as the international tournament director, and since then I have been with Red Bull.
It was a nice selection. I mean, your record speaks for itself. Mind you, we've been teammates at BRC, so I can ask him a few personal questions. Even otherwise, he has been a top cricketer at the school level, club level. The next one again, Anushka Pereira, not afraid to leave his crease and get to the ball. He took it on the full of Roshan Danushka, running very well, Gamage. That's the sort of support you need to your partner. And this is a promising start for SGS campus. SGS, I think, are they participating for the first time?
No, even last year they participated in this tournament and came to the finals as well. So they have been having a very good team the last couple of years.
So this is what we are trying to talk about. Opportunities for everybody. Danushka bowls and Pereira goes aerial. Well held in the end. I thought that was Liana Rachi. Holding on to the catch at short third. So he's had a hand in 2 dismissals. And that was Anushka Pereira who has to depart after that breezy knock. So Roshan Danushka complimenting. And 32 for 2 SGS campus into the 4th over. So plenty happening. Now, as it is, you are bringing some top officials, some top cricketing facilities. How important it is for you to go. Every year you have raised the bar, and with the live coverage and so on, after last year in goal, I think the task for you is a little bit more complicated, I would imagine.
Yes, definitely. We want to improve the game every year, and we want to give the international flavor to the campus cricketers. Harita, if you can remember, we had with the Sri Lankan team in 1960s, we had all campus players, medical students playing for Sri Lanka. And since then, I think we can count from one hand how many cricketers who have entered the universities in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, the present lot, you can talk about Jehan Mubarak. He was mentioning Dr. Sarath Seneviratna, Dr. H.I.K. Fernando in those areas. I may have missed out 1 or 2. Basically, we are not talking only on the medical doctors. We are talking about professionals getting involved with professional cricket. That's what Brendan is talking about. He has been a professional cricketer. He's been a professional sports administrator, now an event coordinator and a technical director. He has been involved. I mentioned before he sat here that he has played the full gamut of cricket as a player, as an administrator, as a manager, as a selector, and so forth. As the next delivery is neatly tucked away. Who's the new batsman, Ranga? So Ushada Fernando, he'll keep wickets. The new batsman in. Is he off the mark straight away? 1 run. Thank you very much. Just looking back at it, that's the end of the big story as far as the campus cricket is concerned. So 4 overs completed, 33 for 2. That's that wonderful trophy. Just getting back into the response as far as the local campus is concerned. Is it difficult to get the teams, or are they now just clamoring and you have to put a cap on it?
Initially, it was difficult. The local campuses were participating, and then we open out to international campuses as well in Sri Lanka, and then for some reason or other, the local campuses have backed out from the tournament, but the numbers are increasing. Initially, we had 10 international campuses participating 3 years back, and then it has keep increasing, and this year we have 22, and we wanted to seal it at 20, but last minute there were a couple of requests and we accommodated them, and the numbers went up to 22. So it shows that the interest is growing. The players are really interested in joining campuses and doing their higher studies as well as participating in this tournament. So the whole thing is that what we want to do is to encourage the cricketers to study and get professionally qualified.
When you say local campuses, you're mentioning that the government's campuses are not participating. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That's correct. Initially, the first 2 years, we had the government campuses participating in the tournament, but then there was a lot of requests from, especially from KDU and other private universities in Sri Lanka for allowing them to participate in tournament. But then suddenly, the government campuses withdrew from the tournament, citing various reasons, not cricket.
Start of the 5th over, and good running between wickets. I think he's doing the right thing, rotating the strike very well. So the skipper Dimut Wickramanayake bringing himself on from the pool end at Tamil Union. This is a scoreboard. It's a very historic one and one of a kind one. If we can get a shot of that, it has been mentioned over and over again. The clock has been replaced though. As Wickramanayake goes round the wicket to Gamage. And is this Gamage who is operating now as the batsman? So Nipuna Gamage. I told you he was a slow starter, but he has decided that he'll get on with it. And if they can get going at this rate, which is good, I mentioned 160, Brendan. Is it too much of a score for somebody to get after 20 overs?
In this tournament, we have seen a lot of, maybe about 3 or 4 200s in this tournament. So even the second semi-final yesterday, SGS campus got 234. So it's 160 is a normal average score, I would say, that they need to get anything over 180 for them to be somewhere, call it a good score.
So I realized that Thurston College had played in one semi-final. Is that right?
Yes, we invited 3 local schools, Thurston College and Richmond College. Both were the under-19 champions, and also Ananda College as 2-date event champions to this tournament. And also we invited one international school, Lyceum Vattala, so that we could give them the experience and exposure to play with higher level players, so that they could improve their game.
This Red Bull campus cricket is more than what you think. It's a high energizer product. It's a high energizer tournament. It's a high energizer game today in this final, as Gamage goes aerial, but only for a single, total on to 39, SGS campus. The first semi-final, Thurston College 121 for 9 of 20 overs. Savan Prabhash 31, and Gishan Vimaladharma 3 for 10, and Amila Posto 3 for 17 doing the damage. And the Business Management School 126 to 4 in 15.1 overs. A comfortable win as Sadir Samarukrama 37 and Hashan Dumindu 30 did the majority scoring. So this is good placement, rotating the strike at every given opportunity. Ayush Harshan 2 for 26 was the main wicket taker. BMS winning by 6 wickets that first semi-final. End of the 5th over, 41 for 2 put into bat SGS campus against BMS. In that second semi-final, SGS winning the toss 234 for 6 of 20 overs. That's what Brendan mentioned. Chalana De Silva 54, Chaturanga Kumara 41, Damit Priyadarshana 40, Anusha Pereira 27 not out, and Oshada Fernando 24. Varuna Deshapriya 3 for 26. Kotala Defence University bowled out for 130 in 16.2 overs. Hashan Vidyaratna top scored with 27. Kavindu Hashan 22. Varuna Deshapriya 22. Malinga De Silva 3 for 19 was the top wicket taker. Manelka De Silva 2 for 18. Chalana De Silva 2 for 19 were also comfortable with the ball. Segis winning by 104 runs to earn their place in the final. So we've seen some really competitive cricket into the sixth over now. 41 for 2. Oshada Fernando on 3. Nebuno Gamage on 9. They need some big hits now to supplement their big story. So Amil Aponso, one of the better young cricketers in the Sri Lankan scene, into the fold.
We have seen a few Sri Lankan players. Amila Aponso is one. Lahiru Madhushankar was another one who played in this tournament. Vikum Sanjay was another player. I saw him playing in the first round. So a lot of interest among the younger generation of Sri Lankan players who have been playing this tournament.
You know, it's just not getting them to come and represent your campus. It's just that they go through the actual learning process in the campuses. If you are interested, there are specially designed courses for these cricketers. As you know, most of them are full-time professional cricketers, and they sometimes find it difficult to do their studies, but these campuses have come forward, and I think Brendan has got them involved with their commitment, so that their learning process is being supplemented. They will eventually have a diploma of sorts. And this is aerial throw mid-wicket. That's for Nipuno Gamage, getting into double figures. And he's capable of doing exactly that. And looking back at the exposure, everybody's getting interested. And we all know the moment you say Red Bull, it's high extreme, high intensity sport like the aeroplanes, like oh, it's chance of a run out. Sloppy. I thought it was a bit sloppy on the field, allowing that second run. Segis wouldn't mind it. BMS need to be sharp. They have the confidence of playing in the World Finals and winning it last year. The likes of Niroshan Dikwala played in that match, didn't he?
Yes, he's a member of this team as well, but unfortunately for BMS, he is in the test squad and he has traveled to Galle today. Otherwise, he would have played in this game as well.
So 48 for 2, going at 8 runs and over of the first 6. Gamage on 15 and Fernando on 4. That's Oshada Fernando and Nipuno Gamage, the two batsmen. Shehan Fernando was dismissed for 8, and next to go was Anushka Pereira. How many did he make? Did he make 18? He made 20. Played some glorious shots. So Dinuk Vikramnayaka now having a midfield conference. He needs to sort of get a couple of wickets to make sure that this is important. And one of the most exciting young prospects is introduced.
Yep, we've seen Wanidhu Hasaranga now bowling from the swimming pool lane, and that's two Sri Lankan national players bowling from either side, Amila Aponso and Wanidhu Hasaranga. That's the keen interest of this tournament has been with the younger generation, right? And there's been a lot of interest, and players are very keen to join these universities and participate in this tournament.
Wanidhu Hasaranga made a dream debut against Zimbabwe into one-day international cricket with a hat-trick at Galle. He ended up as the top wicket taker in that 5-match one-day international series, which Sri Lanka lost to Zimbabwe 2-3. Very exciting player from Galle. Hasaranga is also a very good batsman. Younger brother of Chaturanga De Silva, who also played for Sri Lanka in the shorter version. And Brendan has been mentioning over and over again about the interest of the national level players to get involved. And that's a very positive sign, Brendan, not only for Red Bull campus cricket, but also for cricket in Sri Lanka.
Definitely, even if I am to mention that these two teams actually should have been captained by Niroshan Dikpal and Kusal Mendis. Kusal Mendis is official captain of CG's campus and Niroshan Dikpal BMS captain.
A very ambitious reverse sweep, and he missed it out completely. Oshada probably would want to make amends for that miss. First 4 balls, dot balls. That's how important Vanidu Hasaranga for BMS. Oh, this is a game of fluctuating fortunes. A very good wicket prepared by the ground staff. They usually do. The ground is very well maintained. Once again, oh, is he going to start off with a maiden over? He's just got one more delivery to go. This is live coverage from the Tamil Union, the Pisara Oval, the Sri Lanka Qualifiers final, the Red Bull Campus Cricket Championship 2017. The 6th, as Brendan mentioned, is the next delivery. Oh, it's a massive shout for LBW. It's a wicket maiden for Vanidu Hasaranga. Oshada Fernando, the batsman, dismissed. 48 for 3. Segis Campus.
Vanidu Hasaranga has been a young prospect for Sri Lanka, and he has come up very well in bowling. But Haritha, if I can remember, he is better known as for his batting qualities, and he's a better batsman. And I have seen him a lot of games that he has batted lower middle order and carried the team through for Coles when he was playing for Coles Cricket Club. And he has graduated from there, and now he is participating even as a bowler and getting into a healthy all-rounder for all the teams that he plays.
Yeah, so this sort of 2020 cricket will give him that grounding where he wants to play at the national level, probably in the 2020 format, probably in the 50-over format, and then graduate from there into the test arena. Sri Lanka is in a process of building up a solid team for the future, and these youngsters get this opportunity of a tournament of this nature. When the World Final is being played, some teams carry players who have participated at national level for their country when it comes to that World Finals.
Yes, in the past, KL Rahul played for India in initial stage tournaments, and there are a couple of players in Pakistan who has gone on, and UAE who have gone on to play IPL cricket. So it's a launching pad for a lot of cricketers. Even if you can remember, Haritha, last year, Niroshan Dikpal played in this tournament for BMS right throughout the national tournament. He got into form, and then he never let that form goes on, and then went on to play for Sri Lanka, and then helped BMS to win the World Finals in Galle last year. So from there, he never stopped, never looked behind, went through and performing really well for Sri Lanka.
So Gishan Vimaladharma introduced into the attack. How many bowlers? Is this the 5th bowler coming into the attack? 6th bowler. And we are just into the 8th over. Vimaladharma is a quality player and gets on with the game with anything that he does, but you usually relate him with the massive hitting. You were mentioning the launching pad for Niroshan Dikpal in particular. He went on to establish a world record in one-day cricket, 2 back-to-back double century partnerships. You have been opening batsman who is related with double century. Brendan, you know what it is to bat out there, to score a double 100, and even it is a partnership, how much of concentration you need. So when you say the grounding at Red Bull Campus Cricket, you're talking something really big. Good take by Lahiru Milante.
Yes, if you can remember, Niroshan Dikpal played Test cricket for Sri Lanka early on, but then he was out of the team for a while, and then Red Bull Campus Cricket gave him the opportunity to exposure, to go out and play fearless cricket, and there he kept on playing that.
In the air, but the fielder was not close enough to make a catch out of it. So just a single. The boundaries have been sort of dried up as Segis Campus is now struggling to get going. They just got to 50 into the 8th over. So BMS is pulling this match around. Is this a repeat of last year's final?
Yes, Harita, it's a repeat of last year's final.
So this is what we are trying to tell, and Segis campus really would want to have sweet revenge over their opponents. The stiff task as the bowling lineup is awesome, and it's only another single, a very tightly set field, and Vimala Dharma himself, a utility player for any team he plays, is able to keep the batsman quiet. The new batsman, Chalana De Silva, he was amongst the runs in the previous game too.
Yes, Chalana did extremely well in semi-finals.
Held on. Good catch. As the fourth wicket down. So Manoj Sharat Chandra holding on to the catch. That's a very key wicket. He was mentioning that this is a batsman in form, Chalana De Silva. But good running catch there. He had made a half century and picked up 2 wickets in the semi-final against Kotalavala Defence University. So that's a good strike by Vimala Dharma. We mentioned that he's a utility player and he responded immediately.
BMS has a very good all-round side. There are bowlers, spinners as well as fast bowlers to suit any situation, and it shows that they are experienced by picking up wickets and slowing down the scoring rate.
This campus, the Red Bull campus cricket has a very special segment which is called the Energize Over. Before we come to that, I want you to mention the importance of an Energize Over and why it was introduced.
Initially this was tried out in South Africa where they introduced this Energizer Over. That's what I mean by the Energizer Over is that every run scored in that particular over is doubled. It's extras, no balls, wides, any extras, any runs, leg byes, anything. If you score any run, it will be double for the team batting. And if you lose a wicket, the opposition team will be credited by 5 runs. So that's the basic of the Energizer Over, and the whole purpose is it keeps the team in the game. Even if you lose so many overs in the Energizer Over, if you can score runs, about 10 or 12 runs, then you get 20 runs or double that amount of runs, so that you get your team back into the game.
So you can call that over at any time?
Yes, this over can be called after the power play overs. So from 6th to the 20th over, you can call any time. If not, the umpires will take it on the last over.
Next delivery is again played along the ground. Good cricket. So the captain keeping the pressure up. 51 for 4 Segis campus. Is that right? 52 now into the 9th over. Good story this. They've got wickets down after that initial onslaught by Anushka Pereira for Segis campus. They looked very comfortable when he was going, but his wicket really paid for. And with Jean Fernando also gone pretty early, now the rest of the batting is under pressure to keep going. So the skipper doing well. He won the toss, and now he's bowling his overs very quickly too.
In addition, Harita, Energize Over, we are playing with a pink ball so that it gives the whole crowd the idea that it's the Energize Over. And even the last World Finals.
Big hit between the two fielders in the deep. Only a single, massive shot, but not much runs. Nipun Gamage still out there, having opened the innings, so he'll have to probably anchor the Segis campus innings now. He's not out on 19. Damit Piriyadachana now on strike. Gets off the mark very quickly.
Yahata was telling that the World Finals, we even changed the umpires' hats to a red color, so that everyone in the grounds could identify the Energizer Over. So we are giving a different angle, different prospect of cricket, and changing it to be more interesting.
So made for television, Red Bull Campus Cricket. Ran such a long way to hold on to the catch. Vikramanayaka has struck yesterday again. So Nipuna Gamage departs. They wanted him to be around at 55 for 5. This is going to be a difficult task for SGS Campus to pull themselves out. Janit Lianage ran in quite a distance, judged it very well, timed his run too, and out for 19, Nepunagamage. I thought it was his story to hang on there long enough, but they didn't have too many runs on the board, so he had to take a chance and had to pay a big price too.
Yeah, the lost wickets, 5 wickets for 55, and they need to stabilize and try and see they had to bowl bat the rest of the overs. Dinuka Vikramanayaka to continue to Damit Priyadarshana.
End of the 9th over, 55 for 5. That was a good containing over. Picked up a wicket, the captain, Dinuk Vikramanayaka. So 55 for 5 after being sent to bat. SGS Campus finding it a bit difficult. BMS so far beat ACBT in their first outing. ACBT 124 all out of 18 overs. BMS replied with 125 for 3 in 16.2. They won by 7 wickets. Then beat Richmond. Richmond 115 for 9 in 20 overs. BMS 116 for 6 of 17, winning by 4 wickets. And then beat Thurston in the semi-final. As the next over. So the captain Lasit Abhiratna off the mark very quickly. Left-hander Amit Priyadarshana back on strike. This pair will have to take SGS Campus out of a very, very tight situation. This is the halfway stage for them. This is the 10th over being bowled. Vimala Dharma is amongst the wickets himself. Goes for something big, but finds the fielder at long on. This is easy for BMS. Priyadarshana looking to clear the boundary over long on, well, far short. And if we thought that SGS Campus were going to make a match out of this one, looks like it's going to be a difficult story. 56 for 5 now.
Losing wicket continuously rather than batting throughout and try and accelerate in the power the over. They are losing wickets and it will be very difficult when the energized over comes in. They don't have the proper batsman in to score runs.
So Priyadarshana didn't last long, didn't make much of an impression. So big story here. 9.5 overs and more than half the side gone. Plenty to happen. Chaturanga Kumar, utility all-rounder, joins his captain out in the middle with his team in dire straits. A warm welcome to Sajid Fernando. Saw his son open batting, score a couple of boundaries and then get out. We did mention that his father was a professional cricketer, especially in England, and now a successful coach back home, having played for Sri Lanka A for a long period of time. Sajid, welcome on commentary.
Yeah, thank you and good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure being here, watching these youngsters competing with each other. Red Bull always sponsor this tournament and gives a lot of opportunities for these youngsters to showcase their talents. And another single from the batsman. Actually, the batting side, Segis is in a bit of a trouble at 56 for 6 in the 10th over being bowled. I think BMS have been successful. Another single, a wild throw by the bowler, well covered up by the fielder there. And 10th over been done by, and Segis 58 for 6. Yeah, like I was mentioning, it's a wonderful opportunity for the youngsters to showcase their talents, compete with the best. We all know how T20 has progressed in the cricketing world in the last few years, in the Test arena and the one-day internationals as well. The batting has specially developed. The strike rates have really gone up with this T20 format coming into play. Wanidhu Hasaranga, the Sri Lankan sensation to bowl. Wanidhu Hasaranga, who took a hat-trick on his debut. So much in him to offer for Sri Lanka cricket. To bowl the 11th over. Cut away past the cover point fielder. Well fielded just for a single. Fielding has also, fielders has been up to their task as well, taking the opportunities which came their way. We know how recent past fielding has been letting Sri Lankan cricket team down. So it's good to see these youngsters in the field diving around, taking their chances, and good to see the fielding standards been right up there at the mark. Well bowled and a well defensive shot by Chaturanga Kumara. Pulled away to the mid-wicket boundary just for a single. Wanidhu Hasaranga in his second over already has a wicket to his name. Another good delivery. Carefully watched. Segis can't take any chances. They have already lost 6 wickets. They need to put a partnership and bat these remaining overs. Another single taken. In the 11th over, Segis 60 for 6.
So it's going to be a hard grind. They'll have to probably just get out of the tight situation from now. As much as I know, Chaturanga is a decent bat, but he needs time to just settle down. They have lost wickets at regular intervals, and that was uncalled for, not intelligent batting, I should say, under these circumstances.
Absolutely. I was watching the match from the start, and what I saw was there was no plan. Yes, you have to go hard at the first 6 overs, the power play, but if you lose wickets, then you have to change your plan. You have to rethink, strategize your strategies, and need a partnership. But all the batsmen were going for big shots. They were planning on 200 rather than thinking every 5 overs what to get. So it was a bit of a debacle by Segi's batters for not analyzing the situation and playing accordingly. And credit goes to BMS for bowling well, and also, like I was mentioning, their fielding was up to the mark, taking their chances.
So it's all singles now, and this is not going to be easy. His third over for Gishan Vimaladharma from the scoreboard end. He's done well. He's picked up 2 wickets, Ranga. 2 for 7 in his first couple of overs. So Abhiratna now faced with the difficult choice of either trying to bat for 20 overs or trying to perish looking for something big over that period of time.
Yes, actually, like I said, they should have done this about when they were 2 wickets down or 3 wickets down. It's a bit too late, but this game of cricket, it's a game of uncertainties. These 2 batters have to just bat at least another 5 overs and go big if they are still in the wicket, go big in the last 4 overs.
Wait for the energized over and call it at the right time. You can double the score. What you score in that, if you score 10 runs, it's 20 onto the board as they look for the singles and keep the ball close to the ground. That single to Chaturanga Kumara.
Lasith Abhiratna gets another single to his name, and the total is 66. So like I mentioned, they need to bat at least the next 30 balls like this, and like Haritha said, take that opportunity of that energized over and double the score and look for about 125, 130 from here onwards. 12th over being bowled, it's Segi 66 for 6.
What do you think of Red Bull campus cricket? Sajid, you have seen cricket around the world. What do you think about the concept and how it has grown in Sri Lanka?
I think it's a brilliant concept, especially giving these youngsters more opportunities to come and showcase their talents. I think the more these guys play, the more you learn. A lot of opportunities, we play a lot of cricket in Sri Lanka as well, but sometimes it's not the best quality you play. But when you play like this, there's so many internationals playing for each other, and when it comes to semi-finals onwards, I think it's proper top class cricket. So it's a brilliant idea from Red Bull, and also, like I mentioned, every opportunity given for these youngsters will only be good for cricket in all over the world, and especially for Sri Lanka as well.
Third over for Vanidu Hasaranga, and he's virtually being unplayable. First 2 overs he considered only 3 runs, and he's operating from the pavilion end. It's just that he keeps the ball at such a line and length that in the mind of the batsman you create an uncertainty, and very few bowlers I have seen in recent times have created that sort of uncertainty.
Yeah, definitely, because since the Dusra was taken off cricket, I think wrist spinners have come to play because they can bowl or turn the ball both ways. So the batsman can't premeditate before the bowler bowls, because he doesn't know whether he'll bowl the genuine leg spinner or the googly. So it's same as when they were having the off spinner could bowl Dusra. But since the Dusra is taken away, I think 6 wrist spinners are the bowlers now for cricket.
Won't be a single. Good bowling. Now it's the era of the Chinaman. Yesterday we saw Kuldeep Yadav pick up 4 wickets, and most of our top batsmen, they didn't know which way that ball was turning.
That's right, and like I said, wrist spinners. You know, we have Sandakan as well, a wrist spinner. Still, our guys backed for him at net so many times, but still, you can't pick a wrist spinner while in the middle, especially under pressure and in a big game at the center.
So that is the end of the 13th over. Segis Campus put in a bat 69 for 6 against BMS. And the Business Management School now must be harboring thoughts of entering the World Finals yet again. That's been the sorry story. Anushka Pereira, when he was out in the middle with Nipuna Gamage, gave Segis Campus a lot of hope. But ever since he departed, things started to happen. And I think listless batting, I thought, that put them in this tight situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, you know, you as a coach, I know we have batting plans. When you go to bat, we think of big, the first 6 overs, especially the power play. But sometimes it doesn't come your way. That doesn't mean that you have to go and still go big. You got to re-strategize your plans, analyze the situation, analyze the bowling conditions, the bowlers, the fields. So there's a lot of thinking behind this game of cricket now. It's not just going and whacking the ball. You know, while you're whacking the ball, you got to think of the singles. You got to analyze the situation. So I don't think Segis did that, and that's why they are just in a bit of a trouble at the moment.
Amil Aponso introduced into the attack. That's national material. Segis Campus initially beat Sleet, the Sri Lanka Institute of Information Technology. They made 257 for 6 in their 20 overs and bowled out the opposition for just 57 to win by exactly 200 runs. That's one of the biggest wins. And then Lyceum International Wattala were at the receiving end. They made 193 for 7 in 20 overs, and Lyceum International Wattala, I think, was a decent reply with 163 for 9 of 20 overs. International Schools champions. Segis won by 30 runs, and against Kotalavala Defence University, they made 234 for 6 in 20 overs, and the opponents were bowled out for 130 of 16.2 overs, with Segis winning by 104 runs. So their entry into the final was a rather cushy story, but now they are at the receiving end by BMS. 72 for 6 into the 14th over. Namila Ponso. Second over for him. Chaturanga Kumara stealing another single. Good response from Lasit Aberatna. He was running into the danger end.
Yeah, good run, but I think BMS would be happy just to, you know, concede only singles at the moment rather than the big ones. If BMS at the start of the play, if they were told, oh, brilliant delivery, well beaten delivery, turned away from the right-hander. 14th over been bowled 73 for 6. Yeah, like I said, BMS wouldn't mind conceding singles. And at the start of play, BMS were told in the 14th over, Segis will be 73 for 6. I'm definitely 100% sure that they would have taken it at that time. So from here onwards, if BMS won't give those big ones, big hits, I think they could manage to keep Segis for about 125, unless they go big in that energized over and get their score doubled. Can't see a big threat, but we know how Chaturanga Kumara can go big. Just needs to batter at least another 10-12 deliveries more and go big from there onwards.
The highest partnership of the innings was 23 for the second wicket. and it was followed by another 16. So for 2 wickets they had made 39 runs, but beyond that nothing else. When the World Finals is being held, I'm looking at some of those young cricketers from the other parts of the world, the campus cricketers. They've got a lot more opportunities, I believe, and make sure that you enjoy your Red Bull. You enjoy your Red Bull?
Yes, definitely. It energizes me.
Who wouldn't? As yes, the last over for Wanidu Hasaranga. He's made such a big impression in his first season. He'll be certainly looking forward to the World Finals. Neatly tucked away. Oh, it was a direct hit. It would have been a different story.
Yeah, it's good all-round cricket there. Brilliant fielding effort, good run. It had to be a direct throw to threaten Lasit. Wanidu Hasaranga, the young, it's gone. A brilliant delivery, Lasit stepping out and being held out by the bowler itself. Wanidu Hasaranga takes his second wicket, and Segis lose their 7th wicket in the 15th over in progress.
That's scoreboard pressure for the captain Abhiratna. If he just wanted to stay for the last 5 overs, and he would have probably called for that energizer over with Chaturanga Kumara. But having made 11, I think he was a bit worried that Hasaranga was absolutely unplayable and played a big price. So Wanidu Hasaranga providing that breakthrough that stopped that partnership. Ranga, how many runs added for that? Partnership 20. So that's the second best partnership after the 23 for the second wicket.
Yes, Segis didn't want to lose their skipper at this time, and Wanidu Hasaranga, Haritha was just talking about the young sensation, got a hat-trick in his debut international, has once again shown his talents, bowling his 44th over, only given away 7 runs, and taken 2 wickets already. 3.5 overs, 8 runs conceded and 2 wickets taken. His last over and the last delivery of Wanidu Hasaranga. Been wonderful for this BMS team. Wanidu Hasaranga, the young Sri Lankan sensation who has come and done very well at his early age for Sri Lanka. A bright future for Sri Lanka cricket. Charit Fernando is the new batsman for Segis, a left-hander. Ball down the leg, and umpire Ranmo Martinez with no hesitation calling it a wide. So Wanidu will have to re-bowl that ball. Go up in the air. Just picked up that gap between the bowler and the extra cover. Just a single in that delivery, and Segis in the 15th over, 78 for 7.
They'll feel the pinch, having made 2 of the biggest scores in the tournament. To be sort of at the receiving end in this fashion, it will be a very hard pill to swallow. And that's how this game, a game of glorious uncertainties cricket, as you know, Sajid. But for BMS, they have the experience of playing in the World Finals last year and eventually winning it quite big. They know what the focus is, and this will prepare them for something big.
Yeah, definitely. It's always good to have the experience playing in these big games. We call it big match pressure, and and on top of that, you know, BMS are missing some internationals today, especially to name Niroshan Dekpala, another Sri Lankan young sensation. Amil Aponso bowls a wide there in his first delivery of the 16th over. Charit Fernando, the left-hander. Well, being a left-hander, I probably would suggest that he's the one should be going big for this left arm if they are planning going big at this moment. Well, like I said, they're happy to concede singles, BMS. One of these players will have to take a chance now for their team and go big. I thought it should be Charit Fernando, and I think Chaturanga Kumara should bat the 20 overs. Amila Opansu, another young sensation. Another good find for Sri Lanka cricket. Oh, another brilliant delivery going away from Chaturanga Kumara. Sometimes I feel there's a little bit of turn in this wicket, which might help Segis when they're bowling, but they'll have to get at least another 40-50 runs. A brilliant hit straight over the fence. That's a brilliant shot by Chaturanga Kumara. A safest area to play. Over the bowler's head. Coming out of his crease, using his feet. Getting under the ball and lofting it over the bowler for a brilliant six.
He'll remember that Amil Aponso, one of the brightest prospects you mentioned, but we know what Kumara can do. That is why I was wondering why Abhiratna didn't call for the energizer over when he was out in the middle, because they had batted for something like 5 overs.
Yes, I think, oh, there's a bit of an injury to the fielder there. I think he strained his ankle.
Gives me a chance to look at some of the statistics. The top 5 run scorers. We have got only 4 of the top 5 run scorers. Ravindu Uyanheva of Kothalabala Defence University, an aggregate of 129 runs. Oshada Fernando of Segis, 124. Shehan Fernando of Segis, 123. And as far as the Centurions, it's 113 in 51 balls for your son. 4 sixes and 3 fours for Segis Campus against Sleet. That's the only 100, I would believe, for the tournament this year. The most wickets, Varuna Deshapriya has 9 for KDU. So they have the highest wicket taker and the most and the highest run scorer. Pulina Taranga from FOG, 6 wickets. From Thurston Ayesh Harshana, 6 wickets. From NIBM, Yasiru Piris picked up 6. And from Segis, there was Sajitra Pereira, who has 6 wickets. As far as the most catchers, Ravindu Uyanheva, once again from KDU. So they have the highest run scorer, the highest wicket taker, and the one with the most number of catches. Fit chaps. Ravindu Uyanheva, 5 catches. Janita Lianage, now he has 5 because he had 4 before this. Now he has 5, I would believe. Udesh Sendanayaka from NIBM, 3 catches. From Richmond, Ravindu Maitipe, 3. And Yashan Vikramarachi from Thurston holding on to 3 catches. As far as the wicket keeper is concerned, Ravindu Nilekshana from FOG has 3 victims. From KDU, once again, Ravindu Uyanheva, 3 victims. Oh, so he has 5 catches and 3 stumpings for Ravindu Uyanheva. Then Vimud Supunka from Richmond, he has 2 victims. Lahiru Hiranya from Ananda, 2 victims. Imesh Viranga from Thurston, 2 victims. So that's about it. Things are back normal. 87 for 7. Single to Charit Fernando. So that big hitting, other than that 6, is far and wide for Segis campus. 16 completed, 88 for 7. Charit Fernando on 3 and Chaturanga Kumara on 17. Will he bat till the end or will he just start hitting out now?
Well, they'll have to soon decide whether to take that energized over. There's 24 balls left in this Segis innings, and not both. I think one will have to take a chance, because if they are to win, they have to take a chance here onwards rather than just playing for the sake of playing. You know, you've got to be brave. The batsmen asking for their headgears. I'm sure it's going to be a medium fast bowler to operate.
So far, as the batting concerned, the top contribution has come from Anushka Pereira. He made 20, Nipun Gamage 19. The only other batsman to get into double figures was Lasith Abhiratna, 11 of the batsmen dismissed. Chaturanga Kumara is now batting on 17. I have a hunch that he'll get up to 30 if he bats to the 20th over. And if he is able to stay on with whoever it is, and hopefully it's Charit Fernando, and face up to the energizer over in full, I think he can get close to 40.
Yeah, definitely. He should bat the remaining overs, and I think Charit Fernando has to take a bit of a risk here for his team and go for that big hits. Since Chaturanga Kumara is going to bat the 20 overs, now this is where the thinking, the mental aspect of the game, how strong you are, how good you are analyzing the situation, gets tested. It's a big. I think this has to be a big over for Segis, because it was Wanidu Hasaranga who bowled 4 overs from this end, and since then it has been a struggle from this end. Cut away, and like I said, gone big and gets that boundary, much needed boundary for Segis. Like I expected, he did go for that big slash and went over cover point for a boundary.
So Janith Lienege, he's the 7th bowler. Janith Lienege has been somewhat expensive of the first couple. They need to bat sensibly here. These two batsmen, if they put bat to ball in a sensible manner, they can get about 30 runs into this last 4 overs.
Definitely, that's what I said. They have to get that 125, 130 run mark, at least to put some pressure when they come and defend that total against BMS. Chaturanga Kumara waiting for Janith. Gone big, and only to be caught at the mid-wicket boundary. A brilliant catch there by the fielder. Chaturanga Kumara did hit it well, but not enough to clear the boundary. And Chaturanga Kumara leaves the field, and Segis lose their 8th wicket. And the score is 93.
Oh, I don't know. I think he had the right idea, because Janit Lienege was a new bowler, and I was wondering why they couldn't call for the energized over. I mean, you get a new bowler, you have only another couple of overs remaining, probably. There's 3 overs after this one. So now see, they've perished, and you don't expect your 9 and 10 or 10 and 11 to start working with the energized over.
New batsman Malinga De Silva, a right-hander. Definitely, I thought as well that they will take that energized over, since it's a new bowler bowling the 17th over. That's a bit of a risk by the skipper from BMS, but only to take a wicket there. Oh, what a delivery! Clean bowled. Gets a golden duck there. Malinga De Silva. Clean bowl, a brilliant Yorker delivery by Janit. And he's on a hat-trick here. So Segis lose their 9th wicket for 93.
Don't tell me they'll be bowled out without calling for the energized over?
Well, like you mentioned, I think they should have taken it in this over and batted a little bit sensible. But De Silva goes for a golden duck there. And, well, he's on a hat-trick. Has there been a hat-trick in the Red Bull history of cricket or in this series?
You thought I was their statistician? Come on! With the greatest difficulty, I mean, this 4 balls bowled. He started with a boundary. Now he has a hat-trick ball up his sleeve. Janit Lienege, good all-rounder. I've been just given a small paper which says the top sixers hitter is one Shehan Fernando. For Segis, he has 9. Ravindu Uyanneva for Kotalavela Defence University also has 9 sixers. And Segis also has somebody else, Oshada Fernando with 8 sixers. Sanjeeva Kumaraswamy of Lyceum Wattala had hit 6 sixers. So a wide for the hat-trick ball.
Well, you're the brand ambassador of Red Bull, right? So that's why I asked you.
I wish big time.
Single taken by the new batsman Sachitra Perera. Well, a big responsibility lies on the shoulders of Charit Fernando. We'll have to actually take a single here and get to the striker's end. This is the last delivery of the 17th over. Gone big in the air. Wanindu Hasaranga calls it and takes a brilliant catch. And wow, 3 wickets in that over. And Charit Fernando pulls it in there. A brilliant catch by Wanindu Hasaranga, the young Sri Lankan sensation. And Segis lose their last wicket. And they only managed to get 95. And in the 17th over, 18 deliveries left. And I think they missed out big here, and especially not taking that energized over. Aditya?
It's difficult to criticize, but you can't sort of ignore the fact that they didn't take the energized over. So this is the sorry story. In the end, a couple of wickets and a couple of catches for Wanindu Hasaranga, and 3 in 1 over for Janit Lienege. 3 wickets in 1 over. Anushka Pereira 20 was the top contributor for Segis. Nipuna Gamage at the top of the order made 19. Chaturanga Kumar tried to do his best with 17, with a 6. Captain Lasit Abhiratna 11, the only other batsman to get into double figures. 4 extras. I thought that was a good contribution. And just 2 good partnerships in the innings. For the second wicket, there were 23 runs added between Nipuna Gamage and Anushka Pereira. And then 20 runs for the 7th wicket between Lasit Abhiratna and Chaturanga Kumar, that being the better contributions for the batters. Janit Lianage bowled 7 balls, including the wide. He gave away 7 runs and picked up 3 wickets. 2 for 10 for Vanidu Hasaranga. He held on to 2 catches too. And Dinuk Vikramanayaka, Roshan Danushka, and Ranita Lianarachi each bowled a couple of overs and picked up a wicket each. So that is the story with Gishan Vimalada's 3 overs, also bringing him 2 for 12 for him. So not a promising performance on the field of play, one would say. Segis Campus certainly thought it was a good story, and this is one big task for Segis Campus to make BMS struggle to get to this total. Hello and welcome to the second session of play in the Red Bull Campus Cricket Sri Lanka Qualifiers final at the Tamil Union Ground, the Pisara Oval, Sri Lanka's first test venue, and a very old venue where Sri Lanka during the days of all Ceylon cricket featured all visiting teams, national teams, including those test teams who made that whistle stop game count on their way to obtaining test status. In this game, the toss won by BMS, Business Management School, invited Segis campus to bat first, and they were bowled out for 95 runs in 17 overs, with the top scorer being Anushka Perera, who made 20. Nipuna Gamage made 19, and there was Chaturanga Kumara, who made 17, and skipper Lasit Aberatna 11. Top wicket taker was Janit Lienge. He bowled the last over and picked up 3 for 7. Gishan Vimaladharma 2 for 12. Vanidu Hasaranga 2 for 10. There was a couple of catches taken by Vanidu Hasaranga, one of his own bowling, and the last one also, which was very easily picked up. There were two good partnerships for the third wicket between Anushka Perera and Nipuna Gamage. They added 23, and for the seventh wicket, a 20-run partnership between Lasit Aberatna and Chaturanga Kumara. Now we have the BMS openers out in the middle. It's a simple task. Geshan Vimaladharma and Hashan Dinidu, Hashan Dumidu, two very good strikers of the ball, and Vimaladharma will be picked up in the early stages. You have seen some of these big hitters, Sajid. First ball, easily played to get off the mark. Very comfortable to find the boundary, and this is very easy for BMS, looks like.
Yeah, definitely. Chasing 90s, 5 in 20 overs. BMS will be a very confident batting unit chasing this mediocre score, I would say. It was a major batting failure by the batting unit of Segis, especially getting bowled out in the 17th over. 18 balls was left in their innings as well. Driven well fielded by the mid-on fielder. So the first delivery of Segis bowler Malinga De Silva goes for 4 runs. Then the second ball is a dot. Yes, these two youngsters have been scoring heavily in the domestic arena as well. So like I said, it's a good opportunity for them to showcase their talents in this final of the Red Bull Campus tournament played at Pisara.
Oshada Fernando is keeping wickets for Segis. That was a good take from him. So thank you very much. You identified the captain. We've got the wicketkeeper as Oshada Fernando, and that's wrong.
Yeah, I think as a head coach for a premier club in the domestic area, you see these youngsters in and out in the tournament. So I do identify some players, especially like I said, all these youngsters from both teams have doing well in the premier domestic arena and some at the international level as well. They have succeeded already at the young age at the international stage. So talent is there. Sri Lanka cricket, the talent is there. It just need proper thinking and a good setup to bring the best out in these youngsters, give a lot of opportunities like this, and bring their best out playing these big games, because we need big players at the big stage. So only this kind of big pressure games will create those kind of players. So the first over being bowled and done by 6 runs have been scored by BMS in the first over.
Comparison, 9 runs were scored off the first over bowled by Ranita Lianarachi. Sean Fernando scored 2 boundaries and perished in that same over. That also put Segis under tremendous pressure, because he was one of their major strikers. So Lasit Aberatna, being close to the batsman and the stumps, will be in a better position to probably find out whether he could make something out of this. So Chalana De Silva, one of the leading all-rounders for Segis Campus, called upon to bowl the second over.
If Segis to win this game, they need wickets. They need to go attacking and take those wickets and have those fielders in catching areas. I don't see a slip fielder being set for this field, or the bowler, you could say. So if they are going to play a defensive game of cricket, I don't think they are favorites to win this game, because it's a mediocre score, and to win from here onwards, they'll have to take those quick wickets. So the captain has to set a field where at least 2 fielders, that they could have a slip or even a short leg. And also they got to bowl well. You can't bowl short pitch deliveries like that and also do misfields, because they, like I mentioned earlier, they only have 95 runs to defend, and a brilliant batting unit of BMS. They'll have to do wonders, even if they are even the slightest chance to win from here.
I'm interested to see whether they would take the energize over as soon as it's due after the power play 6 overs. I think they should. Segis didn't use the energize over, and they were bowled out with 3 overs remaining, including the energize over. That's Vimala Dharma for you. Going big.
Yes, spinners being operated, and a left-hander going for that left arm spinner over the bowler's head for a boundary. Like you mentioned, it's the way of gone big, and it's cleared the boundary line at the mid-wicket boundary. It's gone for a big, massive 6. Gone on his knees and taken that ball and slams it over the mid-wicket boundary. I think could be the longest 6 for today's game.
Yeah, Sean Fernando and Ramidu Uyanheva have together hit 9 sixers each. I wonder where in that list of 6 hitters Gishan Vimaladarma was. I'll tell you, if he bats for say 10 overs, he can hit 5 sixes.
Well, batsmen of BMS should give the credit to their bowling unit for getting this batting unit of Segis out cheaply for 95. And you could see the batters going and playing with freedom, because they only have to score 95 runs. So when you don't have a big score, you play with freedom, you play with confidence, and on top of that, the bowling unit of Segis is also under pressure, because they are defending only 95 runs.
They've already got up to 18 at the end of the second over. So that was in comparison 16 after 2 overs without losing a wicket. That's the sort of the icing on the cake for the BMS. I think they will just enjoy their batting and get a decent outing, and then plan from now on, having qualified. If they win this, there's no reason why they shouldn't, for the big tournament coming up in a couple of months.
Yeah, definitely. I think at the start of the tournament they were favorites as well, and they did represent the World Red Bull Campus Tournament last year as well, being the winners of the Sri Lankan tournament. Pulled away and pulled upishly, and it goes one bounce to the boundary. So another much, you could not say much needed. They've been getting boundaries a lot, so it's another 4 runs for BMS, and they are well away for a brilliant victory here. Sometimes they might finish it halfway through if they are batting like this. Pulled away again, and looking for that second run, but they're happy with just getting the single.
He's already got to 21, Jishan Vimaladharma, on top of the couple of wickets that he picked up with his bowling. This is a top contribution from Jishan Vimaladharma. Now Hashan Dumindu will be happy to just palm the strike over to his partner. That's a good shot. That's a good shot, forcing shot off the back foot. Made the field do a lot of running, but unable to cut it off. So Malinga De Silva's second over also proving a little bit expensive.
Yeah, definitely, and it shows. It's not only big hitting, it's just placing, finding those gaps, and proper cricketing shots. So it's brilliant batting here by the BMS lads. Well, that's a good quality of a batsman. Goes for that big boundary and picks up the single next delivery, gets to the other end. That's the best way you can bat at the non-strikers end. So keep rotating the strike as well as wait for those mediocre balls to get that big boundary. Rotate the strike, get the scoreboard running. Shan Vimaladharma going for another big lofted sweep, but not connecting it. A much needed dot ball, you could say, for Segis bowling unit.
Good thinking on the part of Hashan Dumindu to straight away walk up to Jishan Vimaladharma and tell him not to do something silly. In the entire innings for Segis, they had hit only 2 sixes and 7 fours, and already 1 6. And how many fours in this inning so far?
Third over being bowled, BMS 28 for none.
They're already 1 6 and 4 fours in the BMS inning, so you could just fathom out what a comfortable story it is for the batting side at the moment.
Yeah, also it's a good sight here, seeing a lot of spectators turning up for this Red Bull final. You know, even in a domestic final, you don't see a lot of spectators turning up. So it's a good sight for these young lads to play a game of cricket under some sort of pressure. And also credit goes to batsman.com, you know, showing it live so that some of these players are not known in the, not seen, only heard. So a lot of spectators or viewers can see these youngsters performing and also gauge the future of Sri Lanka cricket.
And through the social media, they can interact and get their views through. It is one of those good stories, and that's why Red Bull Campus Cricket is gaining popularity and gaining due recognition, I should say, worldwide, and in Sri Lanka in particular. In other countries, there are a lot of social media coverage on those tournaments. So De Silva's second over from the scoreboard end. Hashan Dumindu, not a batsman who is just prepared to hang around there, but his role today would be to make sure that Gishan Vimaladharma is more at the receiving end. Chaturanga Kumara missed out because of the strategy to bowl two spinners at the start of the innings.
Gone big again. Wow, that's another big hit. The same position he hit that left arm spinner earlier in the over. Another big hit by Geshan Vimaladharma. You could say Seg is losing the plot here. Like Karita mentioned, if he bats for another at least a couple of overs, he could go for that highest number of sixes scored by a batsman during the tournament. So already 35, 3.3 overs being bowled. That's a good quality batsman getting that single after that big hit. So BMS needs 61 runs from 99 balls left. It's a bit of an easy target, you could say, in this format, T20 format. 10 wickets in hand. Good delivery, a little bit faster. Ashantu Bindu respected that delivery, you could say. He has the opportunity to do that. They've got a great start. And lofted for another single. So Ashan Dumidi, knowing his partner going for those big runs, not taking the risk, just happy with that single. And at the end of the fourth over, BMS are 37 for none.
Already this is the highest partnership of the match. The highest for Segis was 23 for the second wicket between Nipuno Gamage and Anushka Pereira. Now these two batsmen have already put on 37 in just 4 overs. And Geshan Vimaladharma easily the top scorer of the match by now. What are they trying to do? Gets Sachitra Pereira into the attack. Now he has already carted 2 sixes facing the bowler at the other end. Interesting to see whether Vimaladharma could repeat that performance from the other end too.
Steps out and get that easy single. I wonder what's the strategy behind bowling only spinners. I'm sure they have some fast bowlers, Sarita.
They have Chaturanga, they have Charit. Of course, you know, you have to do something drastic because the pressure and the situation is sort of suicidal after being bowled out for 95. In the final analysis, there'll be a lot of negatives for them. Oh, he tried, and he succeeded. That's his third six for the innings. Geshan Vimaladharma is entertainer.
Yeah, definitely. And yes, you got to think something out of the box, especially when you're cheaply all out for 96 runs, 95 runs. But what I saw is during these overs, they are playing spin very well. So why not use a fast bowler?
And the other thing is you can go for the mix bowl from one end, the spinner, and use the medium fast bowler. Otherwise, this is very predictable. They are leaving the crease and getting to the pitch of the ball on a very predictable level. Malinga bowls, drops it short. It's skied. Will he get underneath it? No, he's used the vacant area behind the bowler's arm. the ball in the air for quite some time. Vimala Dharma took a chance on that. He's in line to score a very big 50.
Yeah, definitely. I think not only they're using that long handle or the bottom hand, they're also rotating the strike. So that's something what you would like to see some from these youngsters. Gone for another big hit. That's his favorite area. Over the mid-wicket boundary.
In 3 matches, he had only made 23 runs aggregate and hit no sixes. This match, cometh the final, cometh the man. He's now on 42. He's almost doubled his previous contribution and hit 4 sixes, bringing up the 50 partnership.
I think the credit goes to the coach as well for having some trust in this player. Not doing very well in the preliminary rounds, you know, as a coach, sometimes you'll have to take a decision and leave out a player like that. But I'm sure the coach had some trust in him and did play him, knowing and thinking that he's a big match player. And certainly he has come to the game today. He has come and done really well for them so far, scoring 42 of just 21. So it's a 200% strike rate, you could say, Harith.
200% strike rate. We know Vimala Dharma is a brilliant striker of the ball. I'm surprised that he had not hit any sixes. One of the reasons may be that he didn't get too many chances to bat, and even if he did walk out to the middle, it would have been the last few overs because they had batsmen scoring quickly, or else that he would have just opened the batting as he did today and perished very quickly. Whatever the story, today is a different one, and he's making the most out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes, you know, you have to take the responsibility of going big at the first 6 overs, and he would have tried to go big and not succeeded. But he has succeeded when he really needed it. When the team really needs it, he has come to the party and he has succeeded. So credit goes to the coach and the management unit for trusting on Vimala Dharma and having faith in him and playing him today. So we see a change of bowling. Chaturanga Kumara, you're talking about mix, and here comes Chaturanga Kumara to bowl his first over. Let's see what he can do.
Short, and Dumidu is a tall chap, got it over short, fine leg for 4. Yeah, we've got batsman.com statistics coming in very quickly, and last year in the World Finals, Gishan Vimala Dharma played 5 matches, scored an aggregate of 123 runs. His highest score was 32, and his strike rate was 129.4. In the 5 matches, he had hit 2 sixes and 19 4. So the fact that we are telling that he's a good striker of the ball is one thing, but now he has taken his strike rate and his contribution to a new level.
Absolutely. Nowadays you talk loads about strike rates, and you know, the cricket has the last 5-10 years has changed actually, the way you approach the game, the way you prepare for the game, your strategies, the way of thinking has changed a lot, and you could see all these strategies being used, but at the same time the batsmen are prepared to take up any bowler at any given time now. I know it's a batsman's game. I feel a bit for the bowlers with all these restrictions and all, but you got to be prepared because those are the rules.
Yeah, probably one of the reasons why Red Bull got interested in cricket, because it's now more power game. Cricket is now a power game, especially with the six-a-side and the 2020s. And if you thought six-a-side was the power game, big shout for caught behind more in hope than with any conviction. Chaturanga Kumara, more than 3/4 of the way down the track after delivery. Well, he's trying his level best. Dropped it very short indeed on Hashan Dumidu. Yes, we were talking about Red Bull's interest in cricket, and naturally, with the excitement at such high levels in 2020 cricket, we now see 200s being chased regularly and successfully. So why not? The whole gamut of the red ball cricket has changed. That's a good lifter. It's called a no ball. Umpire Ravindra Vimalisiri.
Well, the first free hit of this game, yes, it is a free hit. The second delivery, I think, over the bowlers, over the shoulder of the batsman. We saw both the umpires signaling that no ball to experienced umpires in the center. We actually, I used to see a lot of Formula One racing, and I see Red Bull being heavily involved in sponsoring Formula One. And it's another boundary to Geshan Vimaladharma. Short delivery pulled away to the mid-wicket boundary. If you draw a wagon wheel, Haritha, you would see a lot of shots being hit to the mid-wicket boundary of from Geshan's bat.
Yeah, he's made his domain the pull shot and the sweep shot, the slog sweep. See, very quickly on. I mean, they can now call for the energizer over after 6 overs, 64 going at well over 10 and over. They can actually finish this match if they take that energizer over. Yeah, you mentioned about Red Bull's involvement with Formula One. Was it the Silverstone circuit or what?
Well, most of them, I see most of the drivers on their cars, you know, the logo of Red Bull. So that's where I saw. Actually, I think they are heavily involved in Formula One racing, and it's good to see them being involved in cricket as well.
Yeah, you should watch on telly the aircrafts, the acrobatic, the fast thing, then the power boating, the speedboat activity. I was involved with Red Bull's stunt events at Goldface Green. Over 4 lakhs or 5 lakhs of people, 500,000 people gathered at that place. Red Bull created such a big sensation. Then they have this sailing, the power yachts, the America's Cup and the full works. Yes, it's the extreme sport that they are talking about, and it's a energizer drink. It's an energizer to the energizer sports, and that's why the power aspect of cricket, that's 2020 cricket, gets their nod and their interest as far as the Red Bull campus cricket concerned.
Absolutely. I think you gave so much of information how Red Bull has contributed towards all sport in general. And it's good to see cricket being one as well, because we are into cricket and we are here for the betterment of Sri Lanka cricket future. So these youngsters get the opportunity in another tournament, because they need more tournaments like this.
So the energizer over has been called on, and you see the pink ball being used. Bang. Now that is 2 runs, because everything gets doubled unless you get out.
Yes, why not? Take that energized over and have some fun. Yes, like I mentioned, I'm sure they are the BMS supporters backing their team. And like I mentioned earlier, it's good to see a lot of spectators turning up for this big final. And also, this is lively streamed on batsman.com. So people who can't make it to this venue can watch live.
Wimaladharma perishes. Now what happens is 5 runs added on to the other side. So that means the total now being chased will be 100. So Malinga De Silva holds on to the catch. Geshan Wimaladharma departs. I thought he would make a 50. He didn't. A 25 ball 46. 40 runs came off boundaries with 4 sixes and 4 fours. Stats are all there from batsman.com. Well done. That's on top of the 2 wickets he took.
Well, that's the interesting part of this energized over. The scores get what you score in that 6 deliveries do get doubled, but at the same time, if you lose a wicket, you're giving away 5 runs to the opponents. So Segis will at least need another 3-4 wickets to get to that 125-130 mark I was mentioning earlier when they were batting. So let's see whether they could go for take another wicket, or BMS batter. The new batsman is Sadira Samaravikrama, another Sri Lankan A-team player who has been very successful in the domestic arena. What I gather is selectors are having a very close look at him as well to replace any national players who are currently playing. So he's in the list of the national selectors. Let's see what he can do for BMS today.
Gets off the mark confidently. Good striker of the ball, but I would safely say that Samaravikrama will bat to the end. He's too good a batsman to just throw his wicket away. So good to see Charit Fernando hand the ball first over for the energized over and gets rid of the top scorer, Geshan Wimaladharma.
Yes, that's what I was mentioning earlier. I think they bowled a bit too much with the spinners rather than quickly changing to pace. And only the fast bowler did do a little bit of damage, and also in the energized over. Oh, gone big. Pulled away for a massive 6 over the fine leg boundary. Down the leg, short pitch delivery. Just went underneath and just tucked it over the. I think he used the pace of Charit Fernando's bowling. Just picks it up. And scores that valuable 6 runs, which also get double.
Yeah, so far 8 runs have been scored. That is 16 runs. They have also given 5 runs away to the other side, which means it's 11 over now. Value 11 over. It's a value 13 over now. So the target is 101 runs at the moment. Run rate, see, the run rate is 12. And they look for another massive hit. That's wide. Fernando, that's a big error. The Samar Vikrama confidently pushing the singles. So the energize over is completed by Charit Fernando. So 22 runs scored with the 5 runs deficit. It's a value 17 over in the end. 7 overs, 86. That's a healthy maintained run rate. They need another 15 runs to win.
Yeah, I think they will not need more than 10 overs to get to this mark. And it would be a convincing victory for BMS to enter the Red Bull Campus Finals, World Finals you could say, held in Gaul. Held in Gaul next month after September, and they are not strangers in that World Finals, as they did represent last year as well. They do got some international players as well, and they are not currently playing today because of international commitments, to namely a few. One is Niroshan Dikpal. It was a brilliant innings by Geshan Vivelaralma. A brilliant start, you could say. And Sadhira Samar Vikrama having no hurry to get to that 95 run mark. There's plenty of deliveries. He knows that. He doesn't want to risk it. He just want to have a red dot to his score, being not out. And I'm sure he would like to score that winning runs for BMS.
So 3 dot balls from Sajitra Pereira involved in his second over. He started bowling from the pavilion end. Now he's shifted over to the scoreboard end. As predicted, Samar Vikrama maintaining a healthy ambience out in the middle after that fireworks display from Geshan Vimaladharma. It's 3 runs coming off that over. 8 overs completed, 89 for 1. The rate of scoring has dropped immediately. But BMS, no problems. They've reverted to spin once again. Chalana De Silva introduced into the attack for his third over from the opposite end from where he bowled.
You could see Segis fielders, their heads are down. They know that they have lost this match already. Just going through the emotions now. But credit goes to the BMS lads, especially the bowling unit and the fielding unit. They held their chances. They bowled to a plan. And the interesting part was they did analyze situations and their main bowlers, you could say, one is Hasaranga, Amila Oponsu, taking important wickets at regular intervals. And Segi's batters had no clue. They didn't analyze the situations, play to the situations, only to be bowled out for 95. Cut away just to the short third area for a single. So they're just closing for a brilliant victory to be champs in the local Red Bull tournament and to be qualified for the World Red Bull Campus tournament held in September in Gaul. So they will have and yes, sweep by Sadira Samara Vikrama, went on his knees and eyes on the ball and swept finely for another boundary. So they are, well, if
it was another match, it would have been only just 1 run, but because of the special rules, another 6 runs need to be scored. Hashan Dumidu is on 27. Sadira Samarvikrama, who picked up that single, he has moved on to double figures. He's on 10.
Yeah, like you said, if Geshan Vimala Dharma didn't get out in that energize over, they would have already won this finals today. But since he lost that wicket and 5 runs were added for Segi's total, I still can't believe why are they having these deep fielders. They have only 4 or 5 runs to defend, and still they're having these big boundary fielders rather than bringing them and just trying to at least get another wicket or, you know, do a mistake by the batsman. So sometimes I wonder, actually, like I said, they have just lost it. I think they lost it when they got out for 96. When they came out to even field, I didn't see them energized. Maybe we'll have to give some, they should have had more Red Bulls, Haritha.
I don't know whether that's the story, because, you know, when they were reduced to 55 for 5, I thought they would take the energize over straight away. To tell you the fact that they didn't use the energize over and were bowled out with 3 overs remaining, that is something very hard to explain. As a commentator, that's when you are lost for ideas, because Segis were lost for ideas. If you have the right attitude and the right ideas, this game is all in your mind.
Yeah, and that's one reason they give an opportunity to be energized in that over. And I don't know what they were thinking, not taking that energized over, and especially being bowled out in the 17th over. You know, sometimes, you know, that's why I always say there are a lot of thinking, analyzing, strategies going to this game of cricket now rather than just going and hitting the ball. If you want to stay in that top, you've got to be perfect in a lot of departments, not only batting, bowling and fielding. Your mindset has to be good, your preparations has to be good, your training schedules has to be good. You know, I was listening to Kohli talking in the press briefing. I think you were there. I heard you asking some questions from Ravi. He was saying, even Ravi was saying, every session or whatever they do, they put challenges. You know, they want to be a step ahead of their opponents, and that's how they have come to this world #1 ranking in Test cricket.
Yeah, it's a nice way of putting it, and being a commentator, Ravi Shastri didn't mince his words. when the first question that was directed to him, he came out and said there were 3 firsts for him as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, as a player, as a commentator, and as a coach on this tour. So that's the sort of thinking that goes into professional cricket these days. And this is, you're talking about professionals, and when you make some glaring mistakes of the type that we were talking about, made by SGS, then you start to wonder, how could that happen?
Well, they are 4 runs away of being the local champions of this Red Bull Campus tournament.
Can you explain how a maiden over was bowled when they needed only another 4 runs to win? Sajith Rapera did that.
Well, I could see the 2 batters, they're not in a hurry at all. They know they have already won it. Sometimes they might want a good batting knock as well. They would have missed a good batting knock today, so they would want some training in the middle.
They know that we are showing this live, so they want to be seen as much as possible. Sashan Dumindu. That was Sadira. A scorer, Ranga Samantha, for a fraction of a second was speechless. And asked me what I was saying. I had said the wrong name. So Dumindu on 28 picks up his 29th run. Now they've got the boundary ringers into the 30-yard circle. And what would Samar Vikram do? He'll dance down the track. That's 6. That's a nice way of finishing off a comprehensive 9-wicket victory for Business Management School. That's a repeat performance in a repeat of the final of the Sri Lanka qualifiers of last year in the 6th Red Bull Campus Cricket Championship 2017. Sadira Samaravikrama ended up with 17 not out. Hashan Dumindu 29 not out. Heshan Vimaladharma 46 was the only batsman dismissed. He hit 4 sixes and 4 fours in an entertaining 25-ball outing. Charit Fernando picked it up in the Energizer over. A few words before we say thank you to you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure watching these youngsters playing, and credit goes to Red Bull for organizing tournaments like this, and also batsman.com for showing it live. Yes, thank you for having me.
So that's the story. Vimala Dharma just getting right on top. They only needed 3 batters, and 13 extras supported their story. Although the opposition made only 95, 1 batsman was dismissed, so the score was aligned to 100. They had to get 101. They made 105 for 1 Business Management School to win comprehensively, with a lot of overs remaining in the innings. The entire batting lineup was still available, and this is what happened as far as the bowl is concerned. Started off with the spinners, but it was Charit Fernando who picked up the only wicket to fall, and he was the 5th bowler introduced into the attack. The last 2 were medium pacers. They should have opened bowling. It wasn't the case. They opted for the spinners, but didn't do the trick for them. They were expensive too. The only maiden, of course, from Sachitra Pereira, as you know, the 2nd bowler. In the initial innings, SGS Campus put into bat were dismissed for 95 with 3 overs remaining, including the Energizer over. Top scorer was Anushka Pereira with 20, Nipuna Gamage 19, Chaturanga Kumar 17, and skipper Lasita Viratna 11 made scores of over double figures. And as far as the bowling concerned, Janith Lienige, in the only over he bowled, picked up 3 for 7. And Gishan Vimal Dharma 2 for 12. And Vanidu Hasaranga 2 for 10 were the wicket takers, with Hasaranga holding on to 2 catches too. So on behalf of our team at batsman.com, we say a big thank you to all of you, and wish Business Management School all the best in their sojourn with the others for the World Finals. We say a big thank you to all other participants in the tournament.